Okay, I would like to discuss the factorising method. Factorising method to find the lowest common multiple. If we'd like to know what's the lowest number that's both 6 and 8 can be divided by, and this is very good method to know if you need to add fractions, for example. You need the lowest common denominator on the bottom of the fractions. So, step 1 is to break down the number into its prime numbers. 6 can be broken down into its prime numbers 3 and 2. A prime number is any number that can only be divided by itself or by 1. 9 could be broken down to its prime numbers 3 and 3. Here we have the number 8, and we want to break that down to its prime numbers. Well, 8 can be broken down into 4 times 2. 4 lots of 2 are 8. But 4 isn't a prime number, so we can break it down even further into its prime numbers. The prime numbers of 4 are 2 and 2. So we can see that 8 is built up of 3 different prime numbers. 8 can be written also as 8 as 2 times 2 times 2. And 6 can be written as 3 times 2. So that's step 1. Break down the number to its prime numbers. Now, look at each of these collections of prime numbers and see where does the number 2 occur most often. Well, in the number 8, it occurs 3 times. That's why I've circled them in green. These 3 occurrences of 2 are the ones we're going to use in our calculation. It occurs here as well in 6, but because it's occurred 3 times here, we ignore the fact that it's occurred again in another number. Then we look at the number 3 and we can see it only occurs here in the 6. It doesn't occur in the 8 anymore. And therefore, this is the most common place that the 3 occurs, and it has to be used. So I've identified all of the numbers that are occurring in either our number 6 or our number 8. There were 3 lots of 2's, 2 times 2 times 2, and there was 1 lot of 3. So look at each prime number and see where it occurs most often, and write them in a list. These are now our factors that we're going to be using to find the lowest common multiple. So each of these factors is moved over to our multiplication term here. Once we've written all the factors down, we multiply them together. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24. So our most occurringly common multiple of 6 and 8 is the number 24. Let's do a quick check so that we know that we've done it right. Check that 24 is divisible by 6. Well, yes, 6 4s are 24, so that one works. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 8s are 24. So we're just doing a little final check here that we've done the calculation correctly. And that's how we would find the lowest common multiple of a number. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You do it a few times. Like anything else, when you practice, you get better. So let's have a look at another couple here. There's 9 and 12. 9 can be broken down into the factors 3 and 3. 12, we can get 12 by 3 and 4, or we can get 12 other ways as well. I'll show you some of the other methods. It doesn't matter where you break down the factor tree. Let's actually look at number 12. Instead of it being 3 times 4, we could also get 2 times 6 is 12. 2 is a prime number, but 6 isn't, but we can break 6 down to its prime numbers as well. 2 times 3. Now we have 3 prime numbers on the bottom. We don't have here. 4 isn't a prime number, it needs to be broken down into 2 times 2. And notice here that it doesn't matter whether we've first broken down 12 into 3 times 4 or 12 into 2 times 6. The prime numbers will always be the same. We got 2 2's and 1 3 here. We got 2 2's and 1 3 here. So you can break down a number into its factors, whichever factors you want, and continue down to the prime numbers, and it doesn't matter which order you started with. So let's take the one I took in the beginning. Now we have our are prime numbers. Both of our numbers have been broken down into their prime number factors. So we look here to say that the lowest common multiple will be wherever 2 occurs most often. We have 2 lots of 2 here and none here. So we will need both of them in our lowest common multiple calculation. Now we look at 3's. Well, there's 1 3 here, but here there's 2 3's. And I said we have to use the place where they occur most often. So we'd have to use both of our 3's here. And then we just multiply all of these numbers together. 3 3's are 9. 2 2's are 4. 4 times 9 is 36. So our lowest common multiple, the lowest number that both 9 and 12 can be divided into, is 36. Let's do a quick check. 36 divided by 9. 4 9's are 36. 36 divided by 12. 3 12's are 36. So this method works, and it's actually not too complicated once you get used to it. Let's try one more. If the question says, find the lowest common multiple of 15 and 75. First thing we do is break the number down into its prime numbers. 15 can be represented as 3 times 5. Both of these are already prime numbers, so we don't have to go down any further. 75 could be represented as 3 times 25. 25 isn't a prime number. It is achieved by 2 prime numbers, 5 times 5. So 75 has 3 prime numbers, 3 times 5 times 5. 15 has 2 prime numbers, 3 times 5. To get the lowest common multiple, we will identify where the numbers occur most frequently. There are 2 5's here, so these are the ones we'll use in our lowest common multiple. And then there's 1 3 in both of these, and it doesn't matter which of them we use, we will just have 1 3 occurring. So the lowest common multiple of 15 and 75 will be achieved by taking 3 times 5 times 5. Just moving these numbers down here and multiplying them together. 5 5 is 25, 25 times 3 is 75. So the lowest common multiple of 15 and 75 is 75. Of course, 75 divided by 75 is 1. 75 divided by 15, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 5 times. So that's the technique for lowest common multiple, and I'll show you a little bit trickier ones in the next video.